With a 6-week closure of the Abuja airport by Nigeria's aviation ministry, stakeholders in the sector are already counting their losses. The Nigeria's aviation sector in a deluge of problems ranging from hiking aviation fuel, multiple taxation, forex scarcity, threatening collapse of airlines and lack of airfield lighting and navigation landing aids. As airline operators groan the cost of doing business in Nigeria, what's the rescue plan for the Nigeria's aviation sector? It's question time. Welcome to the program. I'm Benga Ashiru. You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Could anyone tell us what happens to the 120 billion naira aviation intervention fund in 2011? In putting these issues into perspective, Channels TV was at the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. We met with the Director General, Captain Mukhtar Usman. We began by asking him his response to the many challenges confronting Nigeria's aviation sector.
NCAA is a parastatal under the Ministry of Aviation. To correct it and put it in the proper perspective, it is under the Ministry of Transportation, Aviation subsector. Now, the ministry is not separate in the real sense of it from the regulatory agency, except that the ministry's role is one to provide policy as far as aviation is concerned, while the regulatory agency is to provide the regulatory service, both security, as aviation security, safety regulation, and of course economic regulation. So it's not really separate in the real sense. We operate together. Everybody or each organ has its own peculiar function.
Yeah, but I want you to comment on the closure of the Abuja airport, because largely this closure depends on other ministries for the NCAA or for the aviation ministry to fulfill its mandate.
Really, you brought out an important question. When it comes to the closure of the airport or a runway as a result of safety concern, it is the responsibility of the Civil Aviation Authority, if it's so determined based on international standard and best practices that that runway is not in a proper safety level order for us to allow operations to continue. But we should not forget that the airports, especially Abuja, is owned by the federal government through Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. So it's not out of place for the operator to announce that they are closing as a result of work that is safety related, because they have determined themselves that they are not likely to meet that safety standard during the for continuous operation of that particular runway. So the right thing was done. The operator, as the airport authority, through the Federal Ministry of Aviation, determined that there was need to close the airport, and we totally agree, because it has to be operated based on international standard and best practices. So it's not really out of place what the Ministry of Aviation did.
Now, still on this closure of the runway, many interest groups are counting their losses, which runs to several billions of naira. So let's do a cost-benefit analysis now. Couldn't there have been some palliatives to cushion the shocks of this planned closure?
Well, let me start by saying that safety is of paramount importance. There has to be safety in order for you to think of any economic benefits. But having said that, the palliatives have been on for quite some time. If we remember, the airport, or the runway in particular, was designed to last for only 20 years. And using all those palliatives, we'll be able to make use of the airport for approximately 35 years. That's about 15 years over and above the normal lifespan of a runway, of that particular runway. It's inevitable. If it's not done now, the runway will shut itself up. So the only way is to do it organized and try as much as possible to have minimum discomfort to both the operators and also the users, those are passengers.
Looking at palliatives now, which you highlighted earlier, the Kaduna route to Abuja is in a very poor state. And what do you think can be done in this regard? Because the whole project is dependent on the Works Ministry, which is outside the plan, the scope of the Aviation Ministry. So what can be done to harmonize this plan to reduce the pains from Nigerians?
Well, let me start by saying that we don't have frustrated passengers. We make sure that we don't have. That is why we are putting everything in place to ensure that everything works smoothly. Secondly, the Federal Ministry of Works has taken this initiative, and they are very serious, along with other agencies, to ensure they fix the road. And as I'm talking to you, a lot of work has already been done to fix the road. The security also is being beefed up. The state government is doing their own bit also to ensure that everything works very well.
So, in terms of reduction of reduction of losses, now, what are you doing to reduce these losses? Because these interest groups are crying out that they are going to lose several billions of nairas. Investors outcry and all that. So, what are you doing to minimize these pains?
Well, really, I don't see any losses coming as a result of the closure of the airport, because an alternative has been designated. Government has committed a lot of resources to ensure smooth operation. People are being given the opportunity, instead of going by road, if they have to get to Abuja from a very far distance and so on. Kaduna Airport, the runway is up to international standard. It's been accommodating Boeing 747. It's a seasonal international airport. Now for this period, it's going to be made 24 hours to live up to the expectation. It's already built as an international airport. So there's hardly any losses. The instrument landing system is available. The lighting systems are also up to standard. The terminal building is being completed to meet the international standards. And so the state is, or the airport in particular, is waiting to welcome all the users.